Most men aren't weak because they were born that way. They're weak because they were trained to be, trained to suppress instead of process, trained to perform instead of think, trained to seek approval instead of truth. And the cost? A silent prison. One made not of steel, but of stories. Stories that say, this is just how life is. You can't change. Just survive. But the Stoic sees that trap for what it is, a design. A system built to keep men reactive, confused, and obedient. Not to any tyrant, but to their own habits. He knows most men aren't stuck because they lack strength. They're stuck because they've been distracted long enough to forget they have it. Mental prisons are quiet. They look like routine, like autopilot, like comfort zones. But every time a man silences his instinct, every time he ignores his standards, every time he trades clarity for convenience, the walls get thicker. And one day he wakes up and doesn't recognize the man in the mirror. That's not weakness. That's a signal. And the Stoic answers it. Most men stay mentally trapped because the cage is comfortable. That's the trick. It's not pain that keeps them stuck. It's numbness. Wake up. Same job. Same distractions. Same shallow conversations. No reflection. No resistance. Just enough pleasure to keep the questions down. Just enough chaos to keep clarity out. And the worst part, they call this normal. The Stoic doesn't buy into that. He sees comfort for what it really is. A sedative. A trap disguised as peace. He understands that real freedom isn't the absence of struggle. It's the presence of strength. Strength to say no when everything is designed to make you say yes. Strength to think deeply when the world pushes shallow noise. Strength to face your mind, not escape it. Most men aren't lazy, they're misaligned, wasting energy chasing what doesn't matter, numbing what does. And until they question the blueprint they inherited, from parents, from culture, from failure, they'll keep building a life that looks fine on the outside, but feels empty inside. The Stoic doesn't let that happen by accident. He questions everything. There comes a point when you stop blaming the world and start holding the mirror. That's when the transformation begins, not when life gets easier, when you stop avoiding the work. Because the truth is brutal. No one is coming to fix you. No one will hand you focus. No one will carry you to discipline. That's your fight, your job, your war. And if you're feeling this, it's not by accident. You've been drifting, but something in you is awake now. That's the part the world fears. The version of you that stops scrolling and starts rebuilding. The version that doesn't chase dopamine, he chases direction. That version lives here, in this space, with us. The inner legion isn't a channel, it's a rebellion, one mind at a time. So if you're done being mentally soft, if you're done waiting for clarity, if you're ready to break the cycle and build from the inside out, hit subscribe. Not for me, for you, for the part of you that's tired of pretending he's fine. Mental traps don't need walls, they need repetition. And the most common one? I'll fix it later. That thought alone has kept more men stuck than any failure ever could. Because later is a lie. It creates the illusion of progress while you're standing still. The Stoic rejects that illusion. He doesn't wait for the perfect time. He moves when it's hard. Because he knows the cost of waiting, regret. And the first step? Stop outsourcing your strength. Stop needing external validation to feel worthy. Stop waiting for someone to give you permission to change. No one's coming. And that's liberating. Because it means the chains were never locked. They were just worn out of habit. You want freedom? Start by telling the truth. To yourself. About your habits, your distractions, your avoidance. The Stoic doesn't judge himself. He studies himself, ruthlessly. Because only through that awareness can he upgrade. From passive to powerful. From unclear to unshakable. That's how mental prisons fall. Not with noise, but with noticing. Most men think they're stuck because of external limits. The job, the bills, the past, the people around them. But the Stoic knows, it's not the situation that traps you. It's your thinking about the situation. You don't need to quit your life. You need to confront your excuses. That's the real prison. Unchallenged beliefs, disguised as facts. You say you don't have time, audit your day. You say you're too tired, audit your habits. You say you're confused, audit your input. The Stoic doesn't accept surface answers. He digs. Because every complaint hides a choice, a pattern, a blind spot. And once you spot it, you gain power over it. This is what separates the ordinary from the disciplined. Most react, few reprogram. You don't need a life overhaul. You need daily accountability. You need structure where there's drift. Intention where there's autopilot. And above all, you need silence. Because in silence, the lies lose volume and the truth gets loud. You can't fake mental freedom. You either have it or you're performing strength while quietly crumbling. The Stoic doesn't need to pretend. His actions speak. His boundaries are sharp, his mind is trained, not to impress, to endure, because life isn't a stage, it's a storm, and when it hits, what you've rehearsed in silence will speak louder than any words ever could. Most men never escape the trap because they don't want to pay the cost: solitude, self-confrontation, sustained discomfort. But the Stoic embraces that cost, because he knows what's on the other side: clarity, command, and a kind of inner peace no one can steal. So stop waiting, stop rationalizing, stop living on repeat, and ask yourself, if you had to face your deepest fear right now, would you trust your mind to carry you through, or would it collapse from all the truths you've been avoiding?